Hello everyone! I hope you're ready for another adventure because today Wayne reads The NutCracker, retold by Gabby Gersak. Always remember that as we go through these stories, all you have to do is press the CC button in your YouTube link to be able to follow along and read along with us. So, who do you think is going to join us for today's adventure? I should have known. Hello, North Star. Are you ready for today's adventure? North Star is ready. So let's jump in. The NutCracker. One cold and frosty Christmas Eve night, the Stahlbaum house shone festive and bright. Twinkling candles lit up the tree as guests arrived for the Stahlbaum's party. Clara and Fritz both clapped to see treats of chocolate, candy canes, sugar mice, and sweets. The last to arrive was Herr Drossmeyer, who offered his gifts for all to admire. Clara and Fritz chuckled and cheered as two life-size dolls suddenly appeared. Then Clara and Fritz watched entranced as the magical dolls whirled and danced. Then Herr Drossmeyer took out the best gift of all. He gave Clara a splendid NutCracker doll. In his elegant uniform, he was a fine sight, and Clara's eyes opened wide with delight. But before Clara's thanks had even been spoken, Fritz grabbed the doll, and it was broken. Herr Drossmeyer, being kindly and good, tried mending the NutCracker's splintered wood. Then, after much feasting, dancing, and play, Herr Drossmeyer left in his sleigh. As they waved goodnight, Clara's mother said, "Hurry now, children, it's time for bed." Later that night, as the silent house slept, Clara rose from her bed and down the stairs crept. Then among all the presents, she quickly sought the NutCracker that Herr Drossmeyer brought. Snuggling down with the doll at her chest, she waited for sweet drum drops to fill her night's rest. Before very long, she awoke with a fright, startled by strange sounds in the still night. But sitting up quickly and blinking her eyes, she saw that the toys had grown to life-size. Her beloved NutCracker stood mighty and tall. When she stood beside him, Clara felt small. Behind him, tin soldiers stood in a row, with their muskets all loaded and ready to go. Then a troop of gray mice marched into the room and started a battle by the light of the moon. The mighty Mouse Army, led by the Mouse King, bombarded the soldiers and looked set to win. The NutCracker commanded as best he could, but they were outnumbered. It didn't look good. When the NutCracker fell, Clara took up her shoe and aimed at the Mouse King, then desperately threw. The soldiers all cheered as the Mouse King was struck. The mice were defeated, and the toys seized his crown. Then Clara looked into the NutCracker's eyes. She was amazed and gasped with surprise, for during the battle, or perhaps even since, he had changed from a doll to a handsome young prince. Now, the prince looked at Clara, bowed down, and cried, "Come, my dear Clara, let's go outside." The prince led Clara to a magical sleigh that flew through the night to a land far away. There, beneath the stars that twinkling bright, enchanted snowflakes danced throughout the night. "The dance is for you," the handsome priest said. "The dance is for you," the handsome prince said. "But we mustn't stop here. There's more fun ahead." They journeyed on to the kingdom of sweets, a land full of dancing and sugary treats. The sugar plum fairy, so dainty and nice, danced especially for Clara on a stage of ice. Next came a dance from the sweets of the world, who made Clara dizzy as they twisted and twirled. The next thing she knew, Clara was awakened, and her NutCracker doll was no longer broke. The next thing she knew, Clara was awoken, and her NutCracker doll was no longer broken. Had her adventure been all that it seemed, or was it a fantasy she had just dreamed? Clara's questions were soon chased away as Fritz wished her a Merry Christmas Day. The end. I very much enjoyed that adventure. What about you, North Star? I think you did too, right? Thought so. Well, we'll see you on the next adventure, okay? And thank you for joining us here on another adventure with Wayne Reads. We can't wait to see you for the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.